everybody. Welcome to the Real Writers of the OC, where on this program we interview writers all from the Orange County area. This is the sunset in Laguna Beach. I'm having a romantic moment with myself and my espresso here. If you are a person who loves reading, ideas, writing, or just wants to think about new thoughts, keep it here. This show is just like The Housewives, except less closets and closet filled with shoes. Okay, this woman we have today, I'm so excited. She's an emerging writer. She has been writing poetry for 20 years. She teaches in Armenia. I'm so excited to talk to Lana Gray. Lana, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So I just want to talk about first, you have a poem in My Trusty Rusty, The Truth That Can't Be Told. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it on any, oh, geez, I've set that down really hard. Or you can get it on any platform that you like to read books on, any iBook service. But you have a poem in there called Truth. Boy, this is a really interesting poem, and it all really, the atmosphere of the poem takes place in a theater, which as a musical theater performer or ex-musical theater performer, I really related to right out the bat. So tell me a little bit more about the poem and the genesis for the poem.
Yeah, I think a lot of my poetry, I get inspired by reading different authors that are have more of a poetic edge to them, I guess. And this one, I believe is Eugene Peterson that I was reading him, or it was Frederick Buechner, I can't remember which one. But they were, someone was personifying truth in a way that I thought, oh, that would make a great poem. And so, yeah, so I just personified truth as a woman. And yeah, entering a theater. Actually, at the time I wrote this, my husband was playing trumpet and contracting for San Gabriel Civic Light Opera. And so I envisioned that theater when I was writing this. And I love that theater. I don't know if it's even in existence now, but I absolutely loved it.
You know what's interesting is, like, when I was reading it, it's just so fascinating for anybody out there who's writing. You know, the fact that you envisioned it, I've been in so many like big theaters, and I was like, it really felt like that to me. And you know, it really did. I felt like that's exactly where I was. And there's like a big theater has a very specific feeling to it, I think. And it's kind of undescribable, and it really felt like that, which is what poetry really does. And the last line of this poem is spectacular, and I'm not going to give it away. Everybody's just gonna have to read it. But that is what poetry does. And I know you've been writing poetry for 20 years now. Tell me about that and your process and what draws you to poetry.
You know, I started writing poetry when I was about 8 years old. I grew up in Iowa, daughter of a farmer, fifth out of 6 children, farmers, and that small town area, there really wasn't much emphasis on the creative arts other than music, I would say. But poetry, no, there wasn't too much. And in fact, my English teachers in high school, they usually gave us poetry to read, and they would correct our interpretation of it according to what they felt the poem was saying. So it was a totally different world of poetry right there. So I put away that poetry after, I don't know if I wrote for probably 2, 3, maybe 4 years. And my mom never saved it, which I was sad about. I was hoping that she had saved these wonderful poems of mine. But then I have realized in these last 10 years, especially, that I've always kind of thought as a poet, and maybe a short, a minimal word poet. I like short poetry. I like to write short poetry. I like to get to the point quickly, or I like to just leave it in the air and let the reader figure things out. So I like the creative process. And in my personality, what I teach in Armenia, part of it is personality, discovering their own personality. I realized for me, I'm a process-oriented person. I love the process. So I don't mind if the readers don't really get it, but I would like them to process a little bit and stay with it to be able to take it to their own lives.
That's well, and I think that's what the really cool thing about poetry is that it's, I mean, really any art, but especially poetry, and I think visual art can be like this too, is it's like, it's what you see and what it makes you feel. And that might be different from different people, you know, but that's what's so beautiful about it. So, what is it about now, where you're really feeling like this is the time to write more and more and more and more and more?
Well, for one thing, my age, because of course I'm not getting younger, and I really would like to be able to leave something of value to my kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids. And so that's probably what's kind of pushing me in the arena. But I like to interact with people about poetry, and I like to ask them what they got out of a poem, or what turned them off about a certain poem or whatever. So yeah, it's part of my journey, I know, but yeah, I think I've embraced this aspect of my life. Aging is one of the topics that I have in my computer that I've compiled a lot of information and even poetry on, and I would like to someday probably write just a short novel about aging from my perspective. And I always tell people that, you know, I look at aging more like, for me, it's growing up, because it's taken me a long time to really get to the place of maturity where I am. And I know I'm not fully mature, but yeah, I like thinking about growing up.
I love that. What a wonderful message. I mean, and aging is something that we all do. I'm trying to be like Merlin and do it backwards, but it's not working. But, you know, so that everybody can identify that in growing up. My goodness, that's so cool. I also love that it's like, leaving a legacy and embracing things. I don't know. I just feel like this last year, I think a lot of us have realized that time is short, and the value and the beauty of realizing time is short is maybe we've all decided, oh gosh, this is what's important to me, and I want to go in this direction, and I really want to do that. And I think that's a message that everybody resonates with, especially now in particular.
Yes, I agree.
So, in this poem, you have truth. Is this a theme in your work? Not truth itself, maybe, or maybe, but just those concepts of those kinds of concepts?
Yeah, it really is. I think in some ways you could say reality. I could describe it as reality, because it's like you could write, say, waking up to truth or waking up to reality. Just from my own experience, I lived in many aspects of my life. I was in denial. And so truth is really important to me. And walking in that truth, I really want to encourage people to walk in truth, allow the truth to shape them, and maybe shake up their lives in some way, because it's shaken up mine. Yeah.
What a beautiful message. And you mean both inner and outer truth?
Yeah.
Like your circumstances and yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
For me, it's been a huge spiritual journey because I'm a Christian, and I've listened and watched how truth has transformed me and shaped me in a way that I'm not the same person I was like even 30 years ago. I'm really very, very different. Yeah.
You know, you're making me think. And this is really interesting. I think that, I don't know if it's this last year, but I'm at a stage right now where I am very interested in like cutting out the noise, or the like getting down to, okay, this is who I am. This is who this person is. They're telling me that, I'm seeing it. Don't say it's something different. You know what I mean? Where is that kind of what you're saying? Like you're living in your own.
Yes. And well, just for instance, for me, when I was growing up, I really became the person that everybody wanted me to be.
And that is a female thing, we are told. Yes.
Yes. And it, you know, in some homes, it goes to the degree that it's extremely unhealthy. And it was for me. I'm sure many of my classmates growing up, they probably think who I am today is the same that I was when I was in high school. Well, I'm completely different because I was so I didn't have really an inner world at all. It was all the outer. And yeah, so things are different. And I am just so grateful to be walking in reality. And reality is difficult. It's not like even this whole COVID thing. It's been very difficult walking in reality. You know, it's easier sometimes to really go into denial, to put our heads in the sand. But it's important to wake up. And I think for some of us, it takes a little longer than others.
Oh gosh, I love that so much, Lana. That's so beautiful what you just said. I'm going to end it on there. I just couldn't agree with you more. And I can't wait to read more of your poetry, which I know is going to explore all of these awesome themes. You've already given me something to think about for the rest of the day. So you guys, you can read Lana's poem In the Truth That Can't Be Told. Get it on Amazon, and we just can't wait for her anthology to come out. Lana, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.